Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Nakwam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Malaki Bashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Malaki Bashai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent and abound in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwaf out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing the husbands, being submissive and diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremother. Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom to everybody tuning in live, the elect of Israel, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Happy Purim to everybody keeping Purim. This is the second and final day of Purim. So Most High willing, everybody's meditating in the portion that Yahweh Shah have given you in this truth, your spiritual gifts. You're going to that history in the time of Esther. You're going into the editions of Esther and linking it up. You're diving into that Persian Medo captivity and the wonderful works that Yahweh Basham Shah has done with Mordecai, Esther, and our forefathers and foremothers during that time, how they overcame the opposition from Haman and how they overcame the wrath of the enemy and the devices of the wicked. So we're going to go into it's like a shalom to everybody tuning in live. Yazian, David, Yehuda, Israel, Don Israel, Brother Believe, Nigel Blends, T Sellers. It's like HBK Imp, Yvette McKellar, Brother Azariah, Shalom King, Solomon McFadden, and everybody else tuning in. And again, and that will tune in. Right? So we're going to dive into Revelation, the 8 overcomes of the apocalypse. So let's get right into it through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malaki Abashai. Right? So let's go into the book of Revelation, and we're going to start with Revelation, the second chapter. So the Most High, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Abashai, speaks about Israel overcoming multiple times throughout the scriptures, but there are chief times, mainly these 8 times in Revelation, where the Lord speaks about him that overcometh. And there's a prophecy and a reward attached to those who do overcome, right? And we'll read that. Let's go to 2 Timothy, Slakia, Revelation, right? The second chapter, and we'll start at verse 11, right? This is Revelation. Actually, I want Revelation 2 and 7, Salakia. So this is Revelation chapter 2 and 7. And we've covered Revelation, the second chapter, but I want to take some more focus into these promises that the Lord has for Israel for those who do overcome, right? Revelation chapter 2 and 7. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. And as we go through this breakdown, it's all about overcoming. Now, when you go into this word overcome, let's pull it up in the Greek, right? To him that overcometh. It really means to obtain a victory, right? Here's the word in the Greek, nikaio, right? Nikaio, and it says to conquer, to carry off the victory, come off victorious, right? They say of Christ victorious over all his foes because Yahweh Shah overcame. Of Christians, even though we know they're not talking about those who bow down in modern day Christendom to Caesar Borgias and idols, really Israelites, right? That hold fast their faith even unto death against the power of their foes and temptations and persecutions. See that? So if you're going to overcome, you're going to get the victory. And you're going to obtain the victory in this battle that you have in the land of the living. And you have many enemies. The number one enemy you have is yourself, the old man that tries to arise, right? So we're going to go into who you have to overcome first, right? First, you have to overcome you, right? And the demons that hop on you, right? And the spirits that try to get you to go off, man. Let's go to James, the 4th chapter. So there are many things that we have to overcome. And first, we have to know what it means to overcome, right? This is James chapter 4 and 1. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members? So when there is conflict, wars and fightings, right? When you're battling things and you're getting into altercations and you're struggling in this truth, or things are befalling you, the Lord said these things aren't external, they're internal. It says, come they not hence, even if you're lust that war in your members. So things that you deal with in this life is directly influenced by what's inside of you, right? A lot of brothers, they might be committing adultery, or they might be committing fornication, they might be smoking weed, and they're quick to blame the person. Or that person gave me the blunt, or I was at the wrong time in the wrong place, or that sister, she just spoke words and it got to me and I slipped up. No, brother. It says, come they not hence, even if you're lust that war in your members. There's a war going on inside of you right now. Every moment, every day, there's a war internally. And if you lose that war, it's going to be shown on the outside based off of your fruits. So you have to overcome the war that's in your members. And your members represent the old man, right? So let's go into that. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to Colossians. So we have to overcome the war that's within our members, right? And let's read about the members. All right. And members are like your body parts, right? Your spiritual ligaments, your spiritual tendons, your spiritual arms, legs, etc. Colossians chapter 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. So the war that's against you are these different spirits. The spirit of fornication, that war is against you. Some brothers struggle with fornication. They deal with prostitutes, they're whoremongers. Some women deal with it, man. Right? Adultery and lust and whoredom. That's a war that you have to overcome, or a battle that you have to overcome. Uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and evil thoughts and sexual fantasies of revelry and sin, covetousness, right? Yearning to possess the world and the material things that belongs in it, and things that other people possess. That's idolatry. For which thing's sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience, right? So if you are losing that war, you're going to feel the wrath of God. If you get conquered and overcoming that war, you're going to feel the wrath of the Most High because you're disobedient, right? Verse 7. And the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. But now ye have put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. You have to overcome all of these. You have to overcome that anger demon, right? When somebody says something to you, you just spaz out and you darken your countenance, or you might throw something in the house. It's nothing. It's the Lord said, be angry and sin not. But you don't want your anger to be quick to rest upon you. You want to be more temperate, right? And not be easily thrown off the spirit. Same thing with wrath and malice, right? The Lord said malice and wrath, even these both are an abomination to the Lord. In Ecclesiastes chapter 27, right? 30. Blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. You have to put away all of that. Filthy communication is whispering, murmuring, backbiting, slander, tale-bearing, lies. All of that is filthy communication. And you have blasphemy, which is just strictly going against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So in Revelation 2, it says, him that overcometh. You have to overcome these demons that war against you. Huh? All right, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11. All right, 1 Peter chapter 2 and 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you, as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul. So the same thing Peter is saying, it's the same thing that James said. James said, come they not hence. It's like you. Come they not hence, even if you're lust that war in your members. Peter's saying the same thing. Abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul. So there's a constant war against your soul. Your soul has to maintain integrity. Your soul has to maintain the fear of Yahweh. You have to fear the Most High. Your soul has to maintain faith. And there's a constant siege from lust and from the flesh to try to break you down. But you have to overcome and endure. And your walls cannot fall. Right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. So one of the main things that we do have to overcome is this battle that we have to deal with, man. Of course, we have to overcome Esau, right? You have to overcome Jacob's trouble. You have to overcome the hour of temptation. Those are also things that we have to overcome, right? But first and foremost, you ain't going to go too far if you can't overcome these spirits that are coming against you on a day-to-day basis. You're not going to last too long. You'll be easily given in, and you'll fall out of this thing. 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 57. It reads, then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Right? And every one of us has a fight. And we have to be victorious, man. And everybody's conditions are different. Just like war. You have conditions where you're fighting in a blizzard. Right? You have conditions when you're fighting in the desert. Every condition influences how that battle's going to go. Rather, you have to endure the heat, fighting in the deserts of Gaza, or rather, you have to endure the snow, fighting upon the mountains of Siberia, or the open plains. Everybody's battles and wars, even in antiquity, is based off of the conditions that are presented to them. There's something called the fog of war. That's the condition of the battle. You have to see through the fog to understand where your enemy is. There are storms and lightnings and external factors that are set up by God that man has to endure in their battle. You can't change the conditions of the battle. The elements are outside of your control. All you can control is you enduring. And that's how it is in this truth. You can't necessarily control these spirits. The Most High controls the spirits. He's the father of the spirits. You can't tell the Most High not to put spirits and send temptation against you and chastise you and put you through adversity. These things will come. And everybody's condition is going to be different, man. Right? Let me read that again. 2nd Ezra 7 and 57. And you see that. Look at all of our forefathers. David's life was different than Jeremiah's. Jeremiah's life was different than Paul's. Paul's life was different than Samson's. Every man has a different condition. And every one of those men dealt with different spirits. But they have to overcome. Not every one of them overcame, man. Right? Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. So this is like you got to picture this like in the ancient world, like a gladiator match. Right? Or a gladiator fight, man. In ancient Rome. Right? And you got the gladiator, the warrior. And then you have all of these spirits that are coming against you. And you have the great cloud of witnesses, which are your forefathers, pursuant to Hebrews. And we'll get that. Right? So this is the condition of the battle. That man that is born upon the earth shall fight. And all of the angels are watching you, man. This is how certain brothers are. And this is when fornication comes in. Fornication is about to get the victory. Got his damn hand up, man. Some brothers are when anger, wrath, right? Wild beast. You have to, and this is his condition, because even in the ancient world, Not everybody fought lions every day. Some men fought, retired gladiators. Some people fought bears and tigers. Some people had to fight other men from strange nations. Every battle is different when you were a gladiator. You can watch the movie Gladiator, man. That's one of my favorite movies. Right? It's an old movie, but that man, can't remember his Maximus. That was his name. He was supposed to be Septimius Severus under, I believe, Marcus Aurelius, right, in that movie of old. But he had to fight all different types of stuff, right? They had the Circus Maximus. Then he had to fight lions and tigers. He had to fight an old gladiator. That's how brothers are. You're fighting anger, wrath, malice. You're fighting all of these spirits, right? And they're warring against your soul, pursuant to 1 Peter 2:11, right? 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. I mean, if you lose against in this match, in this arena, in this battle, you're going to be overcome. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. So this truth is about getting the victory, right? Let's get 2 Timothy, right? Then I want to actually go into what we have to overcome, because Yahushua lists 8 main things that we have to, or 8 rewards for overcoming. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 11. I'll start at 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra. What persecutions I endured, but out of them all, the Lord delivered me. Right? And that's the spirit that you want to have. Paul got stoned. They sought to kill Paul, man. Out of every persecution, the Lord delivered Paul. That's what it says, but out of them all, the Lord delivered me. Yea, and all that live godly in Hamashiach Yahushua shall suffer persecution. So if you live godly, you're going to be thrown in the battlefield, and you're going to suffer persecution, man. Right? This is what the Lord said, man. Right? These things are written for our learning. Right? The Apostle Paul said, henceforth is laid up for me a crown, right, which the Lord shall give all those that endure, paraphrasing, right? Right, let's get that real quick. Right? It's the book of 2 Timothy, so that's what I want. Right, just for sake of time. Right, let's pull this real quick. 2 Timothy chapter 4, and I'll read 7. It reads, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. So the Most High got you in the course, man. And you got to finish. All right? You have to overcome. It might be hard, man. It's supposed to be hard. Right? Hey, the Lord didn't say this thing's supposed to be easy. You're under the curses. Even Micah said in Micah 7 and 9, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he thoroughly plead my cause, paraphrasing. A lot of brothers think that you ain't bound by the curses. The Lord said these curses shall pursue thee and overtake thee. Just because you're in the truth don't mean you don't have to go through the curses. You're subject to any one of those at any given time. But you got to finish your course. Right? Verse 8. Henceforth is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. So you have a crown with your name on it. It literally has your name on it. And the Lord has it up there. He's literally going to put a crown on everybody's head. But it's up to you. It's up to you, man. Some brothers fall out the truth, and the Lord take that crown and just scratch his name out, man, and throw it to the side. Right? That's how this thing works. Everybody has a crown laid up for them. And it's up for you to lose it, man. Just like them trophies they give in sports, the Super Bowl trophy, the NBA trophy. It's created. It's already there. They got it somewhere, and they bring it out when the person got the victory. You know, they make them trophies way before the playoffs even start, man. They make the rings and they put your damn year on it and whatever, man. Them Super Bowl rings, they design it in great detail and they reserve it. Second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 40. I mean, this whole thing is good. 42. I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. These same people are the same men you read about in Revelation chapter 7, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 7. These are the exact same men. All right, so Revelation 7 links up with Second Ezra. Revelation chapter 7 and verse 9. So Ezra said there was a great people whom he could not number. Let's see what John the Revelator said. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders, and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped the Most High, right? Saying, Amen, blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever. And that's 7, right? Blessing, right? Glory is 2, wisdom is 3, thanksgiving is 4, honor is 5, power is 6, and might is 7, right? 7 mighty spirits be given to our God forever and ever, right? And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they? Right? So one of the elders said, Well, who are those men? He asked John, right? Who are these great multitude of men with crowns on their heads and palms and white robes? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. You see that? So these are men that overcame. They're going to be given white robes, a crown, palms. There are certain men that are going to get the victory, and there are men that aren't going to get the victory, right? Second Ezra, chapter 2 and 42 again. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of an high stature, right? And that's Yahushua, of a high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads, he set crowns and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. Imagine Yahushua as a crown and he just puts it on your head. You're going to be weeping, man, crying. You're going to feel unworthy. And that at that moment, you have finally overcame. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they which have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh, Bashmi Abushai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? Meaning, who is this man giving them crowns? Who is this man? Right? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. When it says confess, doesn't mean, okay, I know the name of the Most High, Yahweh. The Son named Yahweh, shall I confess that? No, when you confess something, you make it public. These men that endure are going to do works that show that they believe in Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. That's a true confession, right? Because your mouth means little until your actions show forth, man. Right? And when your actions show forth, that's a true sign that this brother confessed. Right? It says, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that what? That stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. And a lot of brothers are standing stiffly. You're not letting your family get to you. You're not letting these holidays get to you, man. You didn't buy anything on Valentine's Day. You didn't celebrate Christmas. You don't get weak, when your job try to make you work the Shabbat. You're standing stiffly. And you have to keep standing stiffly until the day of the Lord, man. Right? Some men, they get waver like a wave of the sea, man, driven with the wind, tossed to and fro in the tempest of the dark night. And other men are going to overcome, right? This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 7. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. So the first promise that's given in Revelation to them that overcome is they're going to be allowed to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. So let's go into that, right? Let's get the first promise. Go to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. All right, let's deal with this. This is Genesis chapter 3 and 22. And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become as one of us. That man is Adam. He's talking about the chief Adam at the time. All right. And he went off and the Most High has judged him. Now he said, the man has become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. So Adam obtained the understanding of good and evil. He was created in a spirit of righteousness, right? But then he was influenced by his woman to understand what evil was. Now, when the Most High said he's become as one of us, who's the us? Yahweh shining angels. Because they know good and evil, right? And the Most High said, now, lest, meaning before he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Right. So what the Most High did was he didn't want Adam to obtain a particular level of knowledge and understanding because he would live forever and be evil. He wouldn't have a body that was immortal, or he wouldn't have the laws in his inward parts. So it would be a corrupt thing to have a creation that can be evil and live forever. That would be off. That means you will have nothing but perpetual sin and nothing but perpetual evil. Because you have man who lives forever and he's going to keep going off. So the Most High said, hold on. This man has to be restrained from obtaining the fruit of the tree of life. Right? And it tells you that. Therefore, Yahweh sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground for whence he was taken. So he was driven out. And the Most High exiled him, right? So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to do what? To keep the way of the tree of life. You see that? So right now, the access to the tree of life is blocked. It's blocked. Now, it's not an actual tree. It's not an actual tree with a fence on it. When you look this stuff up online, that you might have an angel with a sword in his hand, he got the tree of life, and he's a damn bodyguard. There's no actual physical tree, right? This isn't the location. The Most High, what he did was he set up, in layman's terms, he set up the spiritual demon Satan to block man's understanding from obtaining the truth. All right? The knowledge of truth and the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's what's going on in the earth right now. The spiritual demon Satan is to and fro, and he turns every way. So rather you watch the TV, or rather you go to a school, or rather you go out publicly, you cannot find the truth, because the Lord set up these cherubims for a set time to block man from accessing the truth. Right? Now, let's go into this. Let's prove that the cherubims and a flaming sword that turns every way to keep the way of the tree of life, it's none other than these spirits that the Most High set up, right? Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 2. Job 2 and verse 2. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. That's going every way. What do you think Satan's doing when he's going to and fro, up and down? That's left, right, north, south, right? Right, left, up, down. He's everywhere, every direction. You will not find the truth. And Satan, he's putting spirits on people to commit murder. He's tempting people. He's putting spirits on people to be blasphemers. So that's what's happening in the earth right now. Satan is to and fro and walking up and down and influencing man to do things contrary to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It's just the way it is, right? And that's the way that the Most High set it up. And it's only temporary, because certain men are going to have access to the tree of life, right? And the tree of life is really going to be in combination with an immortal body, right? So you'll have the understanding of the truth, and you have a spiritual body and the laws in your inward parts, and you will actually live forever, and you won't be evil. See, the Most High didn't want Adam to live forever and be off, all right? But the Most High wants a certain people to elect to live forever and be righteous. And that's why they're going to get the tree of life upon their reward, right? Because the tree of life cannot be given in these kind of bodies, right? Because you can't be immortal in these bodies. So it was really on a deeper level, never set up for Adam to get it anyway. So the Most High has to give you an immortal body and then give you a level of understanding in the laws in your inward parts, and then you'll live forever. As of now, Satan is blocking that, right? And that access to the truth. And we still are being tempted, and we still go off, and Satan is still coming against us because he's turning every way to keep us from being perfect, right? So that tree of life will be accessed, but in process of time. Right now, it also said cherubims. Cherubims are spirits. The job of a cherubim is to cover the truth or to cover things in darkness. Remember, the Ark of the Covenant had cherubims, and the cherubims had wings, and they would cover the mercy seat, right? So that's the job of a cherubim, to provide covering. All right, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 28. But if you overcome, you'll have complete access, and there will be no covering. There will be no darkness, right? Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. So the Lord set up the spiritual demon Satan, and he uses the so-called white man on the physical level to fulfill this, right? Esau on a carnal level, he covereth. That's why we in Job 9:24 says the earth is what? Is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Isaiah 25:7. And the Lord will destroy in this mountain the face of covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Everybody has a veil and a covering around them. And the Most High set it up that way. That's what he's telling you. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I, meaning the Most High, I have set thee so. So the Lord made this thing work out like that. Thou was upon the holy mountain of the Most High, right? Because the spiritual demon Satan was in the spirit of those people, and a serpent during the time of Adam. And the holy mountain is Jerusalem. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire, right? You see that? So if you overcome, you won't have to worry about the anointed cherub that covereth anymore, right? The Lord is going to remove that anointed cherub that covereth, and you'll have complete access to the tree of life, and you'll be able to eat and live forever. That is the promise to those that overcome, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. And this pure river of life is what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's not an actual body of water, right? That would be ridiculous. Clear as crystal, meaning untainted. purer than purified water, right? Purified than spring water, man, upon the mountains of Everest, man. This is pure, untainted truth. Verse 2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. You see that? So the Most High has the tree of life. Now, men are likened unto trees, and men could bring forth fruit. Now, you could bring forth fruit that can kill somebody, or you could bring forth fruit that will give somebody life, right? The nations, they bring forth fruit that will kill you, right? Like we went into the fruit of lies, right? Christianity will kill you. Islam will kill you. Buddhism will kill you. Hosea 10:13. Ye have plowed wickedness. Ye have reaped iniquity. Ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in thy way and the multitude of thy mighty men. Right? So you have a tree that can bring forth death. That is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that Adam ate, and it brought forth death. Right? And it was manifested by the men that were around. Those men were all trees. Right? And they were the nations, for lack of better terms. And the fruit that they bore, if you were to eat of their fruit, you would die. Like if you eat of the fruit of the so-called white man, you're going to die. If you eat of the fruit of the so-called Arab man, you're going to die. If you eat of the fruit of the Chinese man, you will die. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 17. I'll start at 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Meaning you're going to know somebody is a righteous man or a wicked man by the works that they do. Right? Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Right? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Corrupt trees are these other nations. Corrupt forest. Then you have a good tree. Yahushua is a good tree, and he brings forth fruit, and that fruit gives you life. Right? A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Yeah, Yahushua is the ultimate good tree. Right? There's no evil that can come of you believing in Yahushua. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. And Esau, he can't do good. He's the ultimate corrupt tree. These are the absolutes of the Most High. Absolute good and absolute evil. The absolute good is Yahushua. He is the apex, the epitome, and the highest standard of a good tree. And on the left-hand side, Esau is the absolute epitome and apex of a corrupt tree and the most evil fruit. Right? Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Whereby, it's like it, wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. So when you're eating of the tree of life, you're eating of Yahushua, right? You're eating of Yahushua. That's how you break it down in the simplest terms, all right? You're eating of the fruits of Yahushua, the doctrine, the truth, the wisdom, the understanding, the word of God in purity. You eat of, and it's going to bring forth immortality because you believe in the promises that the Lord has to bring forth everlasting life. Again, stop going to church whereas they make the tree of life some mystical tree and the land of damn Middle Earth somewhere, man. Right? Luke chapter 13 and verse 6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon and found none. So we are the fig trees in the vineyard, which is Israel, pursuing Isaiah 5 and 7, Matthew the 20th chapter, and the plethora of other precepts. We are the trees in his vineyard. Yahushua is looking for fruit from us. He wants to see if we have been keeping the faith, if we have been enduring, if we have been keeping the laws, the statutes, the commandments, right? If we've been abounding in our work and being steadfast. He's looking for that fruit. And if you don't have any fruit, let's see what happened. Then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree and find none. Right? Cut it down. And he's really talking to the angel, your angel. Cut it down. Why cumbereth it the ground? And he answering, meaning he's taking up space. He's not bringing forth no fruit. Why have a tree that's just not doing what a tree is supposed to do? And he answering said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I dig about and dunk it, meaning give him a chance to repent. Let me work with him, right? Let me try to build him up. Let me put a spirit on the brother to exhort him. Let me put a spirit on somebody to encourage him, right? To judge him. That's digging about and dunking it. And if it bear fruit, well. And if not, then after that, thou shalt cut it down, right? So man lives off the fruit. In the kingdom, you're going to have access to the tree of life, right? Which is really the ultimate tree is Yahweh Shah that's going to bring forth life. Yahweh Shah said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. There's not two sources of life. There's one source of life. There's only one tree that can give you life. Yahweh Shah said, I am the resurrection and the life in John 11:25. Right? In John chapter 1, he says it's like in him was light, and the light was the life of men. And it bears 12 manner of fruits. That's not talking about, okay, you got apples in January, bananas in February, cherries in March. Okay, then you got blueberries, right, in April. Then you got oranges and no, man. 12 manner of fruits is not literally 12 manner of fruits, right? Remember, 12 is a spiritual number that is shown all throughout Revelation. You have 12 manner of fruits. You got the 12 foundations of the city. You got the 12 apostles of the Lamb. You got the 12 stones for the ephod. You got the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You got the 12 months of the year. You got the 12 major constellations. You got 12. You got 12 all throughout the scriptures, right? So 12 is a number used in Revelation in a prophetic sense that means completion or perfection, because the 12 manner of fruits are for the 12 tribes, right? Now, 12 manner of fruits meaning every month it's consistent. This truth will never fade away. There are some trees that lose their leaves. There are some trees that only bring fruit in the summertime, right? There are certain like figs and pears and stuff like that. Strawberries, they have seasons. When I was a child, my great grandmother, being from down south, she was used to like picking trees and fruits and stuff like that. So she would take us to the country, and we have to gather damn fruits, man. Literally, she'd take all us and the cousins out there. We had to have this big black bag, and we'd be picking strawberries or pears. But we had to do it in the summertime, around like July through maybe August. But after that, you couldn't find those fruits. That's how man is. Man only bears fruit in a particular season. Then man might go off and he might not have no fruit. Then man might repent and then bring forth more fruit. Yahweh Shah is not inconsistent. In the kingdom, you'll always have access to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Why? Because the laws are going to be put in your inward parts. Right? Let's get that. Hebrews chapter 8. And this is a reward to those who overcome. It's not a reward for just anybody, man. Right? This is not a reward just for anybody. Right? This is Revelation. It's like a Hebrews chapter 8 and verse, I'll get straight to the point, 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. So you'll have the laws in your inward parts. So you'll never go off. That's why it says every month, right? You'll have access to Yahweh Shah. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of what? Of the nations. All right. So if you overcome, you will have access to the tree of life. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 8. All right, this is Second Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 52. It reads, "For unto you a paradise is opened." Because why? In Revelation, what does it say? Right? In Revelation, what does it say? Revelation 2 and 7. "To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God." So you have a heavenly paradise and you have a terrestrial paradise or earthly paradise. The heavenly paradise is where the Most High dwells at. The earthly paradise is going to be in the kingdom of heaven, Jerusalem, right? That's why it says in Second Ezra, "For unto you a paradise is opened," because Ezra's going to be in the kingdom. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. So Ezra was already told that he would receive the tree of life and he would be immortal, right? And he would be given that paradise on the earth. Let's go to Second Ezra, the second chapter, right? And this is what we all want, right? We hate going off, man. We despise sin. Nobody wants to go off and then repent and then feel bad. That's a horrible grievance and burden, right? But if we have access to that tree of life, we'll constantly be righteous and be immortal. Second Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 10, right? Second Ezra 2 and 10. "Thus said the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles, which I have prepared for them. They shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary." So the Lord promises the tree of life as an ointment of sweet savor, right? Which means you'll take that ointment of sweet savor and it'll be applied and you'll be immortal due to the knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom given to you by the Most High, right? So that's what the tree of life goes into, right? It really just goes into Yahweh Shai, all right? And the fruit that he bears, which are the promises, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all right? It's not a mystical tree. That is one of the first promises to those that overcome. See, Esau, if you overcome his life, you get to retire. You might be able to go to Florida. Maybe you paid off your mortgage and you finally got your house. You know, maybe you paid off your car. You know, you paid for your grandson to go through college. You know, you might have, those are the rewards for overcoming in this life, man. And you got to ask yourself, man, would you rather receive the rewards for overcoming in this life on the left-hand side or receive these promises that the Most High has for you on the right-hand side? Right? That's the first promise. There's another promise listed, Revelation 2 and 11. Here's the second overcome. "He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death." That's the second reward to those that overcome. You will not be hurt of what? Of the second death. All right, let's go into the second death. Right? These are beautiful promises to those that overcome. Go to Revelation chapter 21. Right, let's talk about the second death. Revelation chapter 21 and verse 8. Right, it reads, Slakia, "But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." So the second death is being burned with fire and brimstone. That is the second death. And we'll touch on why it's called the second death. Now, the fire and brimstone, see, a lot of people think this is talking about an actual place called hell. This is not Greek mythology where you got Hades in the underworld, right? There's no actual place called hell. How is the fire and brimstone coming? The fire and brimstone is going to rain from heaven. Right? Let's get that, bro. It's not, the Most High is not going to open up a realm where you have this pit of just fire and hell. That's not how the prophecy works. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13. Actually, let's get Genesis 19. Let's read about the fire and brimstone and how it's made manifest. Right? Genesis chapter 19 and verse, Salakia, I believe I want 13. Right, bear with me. This is Genesis chapter 19. Now, this is when Lot, here it is, 24, Salakia. I'll start at 23. When Lot had to leave or had to escape Sodom and Gomorrah, he was delivered, actually. Now, this is Genesis chapter 19 and 23. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then Yahweh rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So Sodom and Gomorrah, it was turned into a lake of fire. The lake of fire is not new. It's not a new thing. All right. Sodom and Gomorrah was turned to a lake of fire because of the fire and brimstone, not from a mystery realm, but it came down from the chariots. That's how it was rained down. The Lord didn't have fire like this, like he's a so-called heathenistic Greek god like Zeus, where they take lightning bolts and they throw them down. No, the Lord used the chariots to rain fire and brimstone down. That's how he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's how he's going to destroy America. Right? Let's get that in Isaiah 13. So the fire and brimstone is the destruction by the fire and brimstone is the second death. All right. And it's going to be rained down from heaven, and it's going to create a massive lake of fire. Right? Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. How did the Most High overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? By raining projectiles from heaven. Now, America is going to be destroyed by projectiles from heaven, the missiles and the chariots raining down the lasers, which is the fire and brimstone, right? So that is the second death, the destruction by fire and brimstone, which is going to come from both the missiles and from the chariots and their lasers and concentrated fire. All right. That is, again, the second death. Right. Let's go to Revelation, and it's going to create a massive lake of fire. All right. Which eventually will go away. And then you're going to have wild desert creatures dwell in this land, pursuant to Isaiah 34, Isaiah 13. Right. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and this image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Because Yahweh Shah and the angels are going to send a fire and brimstone. They're going to watch you be destroyed. Right? And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Right? And they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Right? It's not literal rest, day nor night. Right? That's figurative talk for a long time. Right? Because people are going to be lucky. Let me get this in Jude. This means a long time. Right? And we'll get an example. Jude chapter 1 and verse 7. Right? Jude 1 and 7. Here's an example. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them, in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. So is Sodom and Gomorrah actually still an eternal fire? No, it never was an eternal fire. Right? So this is the poetic talk that has to be discerned through the scriptures. So the second death for the last time maybe not the last time, is the destruction by fire and brimstone, right? And if you overcome, you will not be hurt of the second death. Now, it's called the second death for mainly two reasons. The first reason is based off of the resurrection, right? Because those who died are going to be risen again just to be destroyed a second time. And the second reason why it's called the second death is because those who are spiritually dead, they're going to die again physically with the fire and brimstone. That's why it's called the second death. All right. Let's go to Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11. And I saw a great white throne and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was no place found for them. So John saw Yahweh Bashmi Abushai sitting on the throne, and all of the kingdoms of the nations were cast down, and there was no more rulership for Lucifer, meaning the so-called white man, up there spiritually with the Most High, because he fell down from heaven. There was no more place, right? All of these nations have been cast down, right? Daniel said it too. This is Daniel 7 and 9. And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. The thrones being cast down is the earth and the heaven fled away, right? Revelation 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High. So they were already dead, but they're being resurrected to die a second time, the second death. And you're going to have actual men that are already spiritually dead. They're going to die. And that's going to be a second death. All right. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High. And the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written it's like written in the books according to their works, right? Meaning according to their sins and the wickedness that they have done, they're going to be judged, right? And you're going to have men that are dead, and they're going to be given everlasting life according to the works that they have done. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the hell. It's like it delivered up the dead which were in them. And that's a cut for you brothers that teach there's an actual place called hell. How in the hell, right, is hell going to deliver up the dead that were in them? There's an actual place called hell, and they were sent to hell. But then the Most High said, okay, right, get out on parole. Then you go out on parole, then no, man, there's no hell parole. You can just leave hell. And you have 3 strikes. No, hell is the grave. Death and hell delivered up the dead that were in them on the earth, and you have bodies in the sea. They're going to deliver up the dead, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. See that? So that is the second death, being destroyed in the lake of fire. Even death and hell are going to be cast into the lake of fire, right? Meaning the ability or power of death is going to be destroyed as well, right? Death is going to be destroyed for the saints. The grave is going to be destroyed for the saints. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Oh, death, where's thy sting? Oh, grave, where's thy victory? Paraphrasing. So they're also going to be destroyed, right? Parabolically speaking. If you overcome and endure, you will not be destroyed of what? Of the second death. And there are certain men that will be destroyed of the second death, man. Right? There will be a resurrection. Let's go to 2 Maccabees, chapter 7. There will be a resurrection with 2 lots, one of the just and one of the unjust. Right? 2 Maccabees, chapter 7 and 14. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from God, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, meaning as for the wicked, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. So this man died, and he's going to rise again if he's not on the earth already and be destroyed a second time. That's why in second Esdras, he said the same must know it after death by pain. Because certain men aren't going to rise again to receive life. Certain men are going to rise again to die. You can't escape from the Most High. You can't live your life with decades and decades of sin and try to kill yourself, or you died of old age, like a lot of these Edomites, man. They all died of old age, in the 1930s, 1800s, 1920s, 1700s. You would think they got away with it, man. You can't get away. It's like you can't get away with this thing, man. The Most High, he got a bounty out on you, man. Right? This Second Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. These are the people who have heard the truth and neglected it. Right? And they frustrated the grace of the Most High. And they said, I don't believe in the Bible. That's a white man's book. I'm going to eat pork. To hell with my nationality. I'm a Muslim, right? Even though a place of repentance is open unto them, they don't understand and they despise it. So here's the judgment. The same must know it after death by pain, right? Because they're going to rise again and receive pain and fire and brimstone, right? That's all it's saying. If you overcome, you will not be hurt of the second death, right? Let's go to this, right? And let's get this real quick in Zechariah 14, right? The classic, the effects of the second death, right? Again, why is it called the second death? Primarily based off of the resurrection, because men are going to rise again after they're dead and die a second time. Also, you're going to have men that are spiritually dead, pursuant to Proverbs 21:16, right? The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. All of these nations are the dead, and they're going to die when Yahushua returns. That's their second death. All right? Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague, wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Man, so you're going to be melted. Imagine that pain. And the Most High, he don't have to have it be quick. That's why those poetic terms like forever and ever, or you have no rest day and night, because the Most High can have you feel that for a long time. And your damn eyes melt, man. And your tongue melt. And people gonna feel every bit of it. Right? It's not gonna be like, okay, you just zapped. You're gonna feel that thing, man. If you overcome, let's go back to Revelation 2:11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. That is the second reward to those that overcome. All right, let's get the third promise. Revelation chapter 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh, see that? Will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. This is the third promise of the overcoming. You will be given the hidden manna, right? In order to know what the hidden manna is, you got to know what the regular manna is. The regular manna was given in the time of our fathers. Let's go to Exodus chapter 16, right in the wilderness. Right? The Most High gave Israel manna, right? This Exodus chapter 16 and verse 13. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that was laid going up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as manna as the hoar frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, right? And manna pretty much, it means like a thing or what is it, right? That's what manna means. Let's go to it in the Hebrew, right? Here's what the word manna means. It means like what is it, or it's a thing, because they didn't know what it was. So that's why they called it manna. All right, let's go to that word in the Hebrew. All right, here's that word manna. Right? And it says, it means, what is it? Right? That's plain. What is it? That's what it means. Like Jake might say, whatchamacallit, or people say thingamajig or whatever, right? That's what the manna was in similar fashion. So let's read it again. Exodus 16 and 15. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, for they wist not what it was, because they didn't know what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which Yahweh hath given you to eat. And this is the manna that came down from heaven, right? And this was physical bread that we ate for 40 years in the wilderness. And it ceased during the time of Joshua, before we went into the land of Jericho, or the city of Jericho, and killed the Canaanites. Then you have spiritual manna. The spiritual manna is Yahweh Shai. And we was given that physical manna in full. Let's go to John chapter 6. Right, let's go to John chapter 6 and deal with the hidden manna. Right, John chapter 6 and 31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Yahweh Shai said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. So you have your regular manna, and they put that manna in a golden pot, right? And they put inside the Ark of the Covenant, right? Because Yahweh Shai is that true manna, the reserved manna. He's the true manna that came down from heaven. He's the true bread. You eat physical bread, you die. If you eat, meaning you accept and learn of Yahweh Shai, you live. Just like you eat of the fruit of the tree of life, you live forever. You eat of the bread of Yahweh Shai, you live forever. For the bread of the Most High is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. And that's a similar concept to how the tree of life works. All right? It's no mystical, magical bread that they got in the back, man. You know? Yeah, okay, now let me get that bread in the back, and okay, and the Lord come out, and that's the hidden manna. No, Yahweh Shai is the true manna. Now, even though he was the bread that gave life unto the world, there is more understanding that man doesn't have right now, right? And we'll be given that in the kingdom, and that's called the hidden manna, right? And we'll touch on that. But let's read these next two verses. John chapter 6 and 34. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. So they thought it was actual bread, carnal, right? And Yahweh Shai said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. And our forefathers was wicked as hell because they got offended at that manna in the wilderness. I don't want that manna. When you read Numbers 11 chapter, we want garlic, we want leeks, we want melons, we want fish. They got offended at the actual manna. Then they came back on the earth and they got offended at the true manna. We don't need Yahweh Shai. We have no king but Caesar. Right? We getting down with the Romans. Everybody always gets offended at the manna. Right? That's why they're not going to be given the hidden manna, because they couldn't accept the first manna or the second manna. So the third and final manna is going to be given to those that do overcome. That's what the Most High calls the hidden manna. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Right? 1 Corinthians 13. All right? 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12. It reads, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. So right now we see through a glass darkly. The glass is the word of God, the truth. And we can vaguely understand. Yeah, we know the truth to a certain extent. We know our nationality, we know laws, commandments, but there are things that we don't get yet that you'll be getting in the world to come. So you're seeing through the glass darkly as if you were looking through a window and you can't really make out what's in the store or what's in the house. You can kind of pinpoint what it may be. You might say, well, that's a lamp, or that's a furniture, or a couch, or rather that's a table, or it looks like a ottoman, but you really don't know. You're seeing through it darkly. You got to cuff your hands to the glass to kind of see what the hell is going on. It's not until you walk inside the house and the lights are on, then you can truly make out what's what. That's what this truth is. Right now, we're seeing through the glass darkly. But then when we see Yahawashi face to face, we'll see things clearly and perfectly. That's why it says, now I know in part. And we all know in part. Anybody that says they don't know in part is a damn liar. Right? Even the Apostle Paul said he knew in part. But then shall I know even as also I am known. So how much are you going to know? You're going to know as you are also known. So the question is, well, how much does the Most High know about you? How much does Yahawashi know about you? They know everything. So you're going to know everything. That's what it means. Then shall I know even as also I am known. We are known of the Most High. Right? And we're going to know. That's part of that hidden manna, that true bread. Right? Where Yahawashi is going to give us everything plainly, like the apostles. There were times when Yahawashi spoke things plainly. He said, Lazarus is dead. Then he said, I'm not speaking in any proverbs. Tell us plainly. There are things Yahawashi is going to give you plainly, paraphrase. Who you are back on the earth. What your lot is. Other mysteries. Who's going to rule here? Who's going to do this? These are rewards to those that overcome. And these are the rewards of what? Of the hidden manna. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 24. Right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 to 24. Right? Bear with me. Right? Let's get Ecclesiastes 7 to 24. Right, Salaki. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 to 24. It reads, that which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? And that was the question back then. We're going to know the answer to that. We're going to know that which is far off. We're going to know that which is exceeding deep. The Lord said, who can find it out? Well, that's what Solomon said. Because there are things that Solomon didn't have, man. There are things that Solomon didn't get. Now, he said all things that are secret and manifest, them I know, but that's in that world. Right? Then you have the hidden manna. And then you have more things to come. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? We're going to find it out in those days, man. Right? We're going to know certain things that the regular man may not know. We're going to be on a high level, man. Right? Revelation chapter 10 and verse 3. And cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roared. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. We're going to know what the 7 thunders said, meaning the angels. The angels gave forth the mystery to John, right? And John wrote it down, but only John knew what it was. We're going to know what those 7 thunders said, right? The mystery of the 7 thunders. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered and write them not. That's going to be, that seal is going to be loosed. And whatever the 7 thunders uttered, we're going to get that breakdown and get that understanding, man. Right? I want to know what the 7 thunders uttered, man. I want to know what the hidden manna was. Right? We want to know more than Daniel 7. More than okay, you can't eat pork. there's more that Yahweh Basham Shai has in store for us, and that is a reward to access that knowledge, right? To access that wisdom, right? And that is another reward to those that overcome. The Lord said to him, Revelation 2:17, to him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. And you're going to learn the secrets that have been kept from the foundation of the world. And will give him a white stone. Now, the white stone symbolizes your innocence, your purity. In the ancient world, during the time of the Greeks and the Romans, they would literally give gladiators a white stone when they got a victory. They would give men on trial a white stone when they were proven innocent. So a white stone was a concept that John used that the churches that they were familiar with. Being in this Hellenized Roman world, they knew the concept of a white stone, right? So when they read it, they said, okay, we're going to be given understanding. We're going to be given innocency, purity, the victory, right? The color white symbolizes purity and innocence, right? Let's go to Revelation 19. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is what? It's the righteousness of saints. So that white represents the righteousness, the innocency, the purity of the children of Israel, right? That's what the color white represents. Let's go to classic, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 8. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. So you can't taint and defile your garment through lust and sin, right? And folly and vanity and pride and vainglory. Do not defile your garments trying to be vain. Receive pride from man and worldly accolades, right? And freaking off. You receive your garment and your purity from Yahweh, Basham Yahushua, right? A lot of brothers want to be famous, well known. They want to sin against their maker. They want to defile their temple. Let your garment be always white, man, right? You're going to be given that white stone, that righteous stone. Now, here's a quick article. This is from, right, the White Stone Clinic. Now they say, why the name White Stone? Now let's jump down. Let's go to the history behind it, right? Let's see. It says, there are many ancient symbols for the white stone. Today, it is considered a gardening option, something to spread around bushes or replace grass. But in ancient times, particularly in the Middle East, right, where Jerusalem is, Southwest Asia, and Mediterranean, the white stone represented important details about one's social status. In some cultures, the trial judges on a panel would each deposit a black stone or a white stone in a bowl or urn. And the Greeks would do that, right? Or reveal one in the palm of their hands to cast their votes on the verdict of the accused. And we're the accused, right? By the spiritual demon Satan. He's accusing us day and night to bring up charges on us. And the Most High is going to give us a white stone, and all of the charges being brought upon us, we're going to be found innocent, right? Even though we may go off and, you may fall short, if you overcome, that is enough in the eyes of Yahweh. Why Yahweh shy to say, this man, he's innocent. That man, he's pure. That man, he's without guile. In his mouth was found no God, without fault before the throne of God and the Lamb. So even though we're being accused day and night, right, and all of our sins are being brought before the Most High, at the end all be all, the Lord said that we're going to be found innocent. And that's how things worked in the ancient world on trials, right? A black stone indicated, Slakia, the judge favored a guilty verdict. So a lot of brothers are going to be given a black stone, They're going to be given a black stone by Yahweh Basham Yahushua. right? They're going to parabolically open up their hand in the day of judgment. It's going to be a black stone. And they're going to take that black stone because they wicked, and they're going to throw it up to the heavens, right? And curse the Most High. Then the white stone is going to be given to the elect. They're going to open up their stone, and it's parabolic. They're going to see the white stone, and they're going to weep for the bowels of mercies of Yahweh Basham Shah, because they were proven innocent. And that's a tense situation at court, man. You got people sweating, spending big money. Everybody on the edge of their seat when that verdict is about to come out. You got people that faint when they proven guilty. People to start crying. The biggest, strongest man, he break down. People jumping off to attack the damn judge, man. Hey, these trials are a big deal, you know? So you're going to be in the day of judgment just hoping that you make it. And when you make it, that's you getting that white stone. All right? So I'm going to read that again. A black stone indicated a judge favored a guilty verdict, and a white stone meant the accused was considered innocent. And also, in a time of a war or gladiators, they will also have names inscribed in a stone. And we can go into that as well. And it will have certain names in it that say, okay, victory. Or it will have the name of, it would say like a SP. And that's meant something in Latin and Roman. So a lot of stones, they were inscribed with symbols and numbers as well. You know? It reads, the white stone meant the accused was considered innocent of the charge. If the accused received more white stones than black from the panel, he was acquitted. And we're going to be acquitted, man. Right? So the white stone became a symbol of being judged innocent. Right? And they put the sources, you can actually read that in Metamorphosis by Ovid, right? Libya 15 verse 51, right? It says a custom was of old and still remains, which life and death by suffrages ordains. White stones and black within an urn are cast. The first absolve, but fate is in the last. And they will write these in books. They knew about this stuff, man. This wasn't a big secret, right? It wasn't a big secret. So the white stone being given represents your innocency and your purity and your piety in the eyes of Yahweh Basham Yahushua, right? And it said and then the stone, a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. Now, if your name is Jamal, is it going to become Tony? Right? Is that what it's talking about? Or your name is Rel, now it's Dre, right? Or your name is no, man. A new name which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it, is a spiritual new name. See, a name is more than words written on paper. A name is your character. A name is, your reputation. A name is your behavior, your demeanor, your identity, your works. All of that is integrated into what your name is. That's why the Lord says a good name, right, is rather to be chosen than silver. Right, Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 1, right? A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. So right now, let's say your name was Rel in the world. Everything attached to Rel was weed smoke, niggatry, and folly. Now you came into this truth and your name is Judah, right? Now Judah, what's attached to that name? Righteousness, purity, right? He's striving to be right. But even with Judah attached to his name are the times that he has fallen short, right? Attached to Judah is what Judah thinks his purpose is in this world is. Attached to Judah is what Judah thinks is right for him, right? But you're going to be given a new name, right? The Most High is going to give you new instructions. You're going to be given a new, not a new lot, but your lot is going to be given to you. Why you were created. You might have an actual spiritual new name, The Most High will reveal to you your purpose and the kingdom of heaven. what your responsibilities are going to be, who you are back on the earth, right? And all of these mysteries are part of your new name, right? And everybody's going to have a new name. That's why it says, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it, right? Because only the elect are going to be given new names. Nobody else is going to be given a new name, man. They're going to be given a black stone and destroyed. All right. So you see that word new name, it doesn't always mean new. That word new actually means refreshed, right? It means refreshed in the Greek. It should say kainos, right? If not, the word new. Let's see if they say kainos, right? Recently made, fresh. You see that? Unused, unworn. So it really means refreshed, renewed, new, especially in freshness. Because something might be old, it might be tainted, then it's kainos, or it's renewed. All right. So you'll be given to what you were created to be from the foundation of the world. All right. Those are, and we may have to do a part 2. Let's see where we're at with time. All right, let's see. Are we making decent time? Right, decent time. Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 2nd chapter. Right. So we're going into the 8 overcomes of Revelation. We read Revelation 2 and 7, what you overcome. You get the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. We've read Revelation 2 and 11. What do you receive if you overcome? You won't be hurt at the second death, and we covered that. Revelation 2 and 17. You receive the hidden manna and a white stone, right? Let's go on. Revelation chapter 2 and 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh, see that? And keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. These are more promises to those that overcome. First and foremost, you're going to be given power over the nations. Right now, the nations have power over you. The curse written in Deuteronomy 28 is the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and what? And thou shalt come down very low. The nations are above us. But if you overcome, you'll be given power over the nations. Let's go to Luke 19. Right? Let's read that. And every brother want power over these nations, man. I'm sick of damn working and bills, being told what to do, and rent and mortgage and insurance and all of this madness, man. We got to deal with, man. Esau telling you you're fired. He's sizing you up and down at the interview, man. You know? I had this one Edomite that pretty much told me, look, stand up, man. Like I was a damn slave. You know? Stand up. Let me see what's going on. Right? So this is a damn hell that we in, man. Surprised that these damn interviews, they don't open your mouth like it's the 1700s and look at your damn teeth, man. You know, they make you do the physical, see if you're a good slave. Are you in shape? They send a slave doctor to tap your muscles and hit your damn knee to see if you could be a good slave, because they can't take no slave that'll break down, man. So this is captivity, right? They got to give you your shot so you don't infect the other slaves. This is Luke 19 and 15. It reads, and it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. So this is a parable about Yahushua returning to hold men accountable for the knowledge and wisdom that they have been given, and to see if they have used the wisdom and knowledge that they were given to bring in souls into this truth. All right. So let's see the reward of the righteous. Let's see power over the nations. Luke chapter 19 and 16. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. Meaning the knowledge that you gave me, I flipped it, parabolically speaking, and brought more souls into this truth and increased the fruit of the vineyard. Thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. That's having power over the nations, right? What does it mean to have authority, right? The word authority means complete control, right? The word in the Greek is isthi, and it means Slaki, that's not it. I have to type authority in, right? Let's see. Okay, here's authority, right? That word is exousia, right? Exousia, and it reads the power of rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. So when you have power, people, meaning the nations, they must obey you. They must submit. You're not just going to be over, you have Jake, you're a supervisor, or you train people at your job, man, or you're a manager. And the hell with that, man. We want power over these nations. We want to be over the land of Ham. The most look, brother, you're going to be over the continent of the land of Ham. Right? And you report directly to James. Right? Yahushua, sit down. Look, I want to talk to you and James about what's going on in the land of Ham. Are they bringing tribute? Right? Are they bringing their cattle? Right? And you got to make sure that these things are being done. You're going to say, yea, Lord, thy will is being done. Thou hast received 70,000 sheep, and we have more coming today. Yahushua is going to say, very good, my servant. Right? See thou to it. And you're going to go back and beat the Hamites if they don't bring their cattle. Right? And this is a big deal right here. But it's only for those that overcome, not for those who just get weak and they easily get out the spirit and fall out. This isn't for them. This is for the strong, for the mighty. Right? For the brothers that do this work. Right? Not for people that just sit around in the back, man. Wait for something to happen. This is power to rule over 10 cities. Right? And over these various kingdoms. Right? Let's go to the book. I had a few precepts written down. Right? Let's go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 14. Right? And part of you ruling over the nations is you're going to be responsible for making sure that they're keeping the laws and the statutes and the commandments. You're not just going to just line them up and beat them all day because they got to work. You can't just beat them all day. It would be nice, and you might have a slave. He kind of sidearm you, tell him get to work. He kind of look you up and down, man. He ball his fist up, say something under his breath. He might take up a mud ball and try to throw it at you, man. Right? But the spirit gonna have an angel block it. Then you're gonna see him. He gonna start running. You're gonna have runaways. They're just gonna break free and run away in the night, man. And they chased us with dogs. We're gonna chase them with angels, man. They're gonna be in a swamp. See, a lot of slaves back in the day, they escaped, man. They went north Canada. It was in a swamp, wading in the water, and they got away with these things, man. Esau, try to run away if you want to. We're gonna make you a public example. It's gonna be a big ass deal if you try to escape, man. Because we're gonna know we might be asleep and we're gonna wake up like this, right? We're gonna be triggered to know. Then we might be able to damn teleport, man. You're gonna call your men, go get him, man. And you're gonna know where he's at too, right? Because you're not gonna know in part. You're gonna know even as also you are known, right? See that? So you're gonna know what he's heathing at, man. Remember Django? Brother seen Django. You had the brother that was in the tree. If you seen Django, you know what I'm talking about. If not, then watch it, right? Nevertheless, they had that brother that was in the tree. And he was like, "Get down, man. I'll jump down if you don't hurt me or whatever." He was like, "I don't want to fight no more," because he was a what do they call him? A Mandingo fighter. What are those fighters, man? You know, he had to, and he had you fight your fellow brother. So they told him, get down, and he got down. He was begging for his life. And this damn demon, he said, Marsha, that was the name of the dog, because he had the dogs out there that chased him. You know, they had Marsha and whatever. He said, send him to nigger heaven. Well, where's it at in the Bible? When you can send Jake to nigger heaven. You got white man heaven and you got nigger heaven, man. Right? So Esau, we gonna hunt you down, man. We gonna hunt you down. Right? You run away if you want to, man. You look at us crazy if you want to. The Lord is going to give us authority to beat you to death, man, if you go to hell off. Even if you eyeball us, you bet not eyeball us, man. Right? You better not mumble nothing under your breath, man. It's going to be a problem. Right? Let me go to Zechariah, because now I'm getting mad. Right? Let's go to Zechariah 14. Right? But we're going to have power over these nations. We're not going to be nice about it. A lot of people say, well, we're going to be nice. You're going to treat them like Yahushua treated you. Right? No, we're going to rule over these nations, man. Right? And you're going to they got to be forced to keep the law. Right? Zechariah 14:8. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea, and summer and in winter shall it be. So the living water, the word of the Most High, is going to be sent out, right, from Yahushua to the apostles, to the men under them, and they're going to have to go to these different nations and teach them the laws. That's what the former sea and the hinder sea represent. It represents the nations. And it says in summer and in winter shall it be. It's going to be a seasonal thing. In season, out of season, even in the kingdom, you're going to have to send missionaries, for lack of better terms, to get these nations to submit to the laws and the statutes and the commandments. All right? Let's go to Ezekiel 47, about these living waters hidden in the sea. All right? Let's go to Ezekiel 47. Part of ruling the nations is making sure that they are submitting to the program, man. Like I said, if they want to act, they can act funny if they want to, man. Right? Let a Moabite, you catch a Moabite, they get in the dirt, eating the worm, there's going to be a problem. You catch an Ishmaelite taking a stone, he got a stone in his ghetto, because they're going to be in the ghetto too. And you catch him bowing down to that stone, old cobblestone. We're going to take that stone and beat him with it to death. That's idolatry. We're going to kill you. Right? We catch a Hamite man drinking blood and bathing in piss. That's unclean. It's going to be a problem. Right? We're going to cut them off. That's the judgment on those who eat blood. They cut off from the people. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a big deal, man, when you're dealing with these nations, because you know they're going to be going off. It's going to be a lot of judgments. All right? Ezekiel chapter 47 and verse 8. Then said he unto me, these waters issue out toward the east country, and go down into the desert, and go into the sea, which being brought forth into the sea, the waters shall be healed. Which is what? The living waters shall go out from Jerusalem. This links up with Zechariah 14:8. Isaiah 2, Micah 4, right? Living waters, just like the word of the Lord shall go forth from Jerusalem. And you're going to go to these other nations and make sure they're keeping the law, right? That's why it says the waters being brought forth into the sea, the waters are going to be healed. Okay, because right now the waters are polluted, meaning the nations. They bring forth sin and wickedness, but then they're going to be healed, and they're going to be forced to keep the law. And it shall come to pass that everything that liveth, which moveth, whithersoever the river shall come, shall live. And there shall be a very great multitude of fish, because these waters shall come thither, for they shall be healed, and everything shall live, whither the river cometh. So wherever the living waters hit the nations, they're going to bring forth fish, right? Fish is a sign of life. It is a sure sign that life has been made manifest inside of the waters. Just like a sure sign that waters are working on a tree is they bring forth fruit. You're going to see the fish of all of the nations, man. Right? You're going to see them keeping the new moon, keeping the Sabbath, keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. And if they don't, there are punishments for those things, man. They may very well have fringes on, and be circumcised. They're going to have to get down with the law, right? They will have to submit to the program of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? Let's go to Tobit. So you're going to enslave them, and they're going to have to bring gifts to Jerusalem, right? Let's get this in Tobit, right? Tobit chapter 13, right? This is Tobit chapter 13, and I believe I want verse, right? Bear with me. 11. Tobit chapter 13 and 11. Many nations shall come from far to the name of the Lord God with gifts in their hands, even gifts to the King of heaven. All generations shall praise thee with great joy. So they're going to be forced to bring gifts. You know what that's called? Taxes. We're going to tax the nations. And in the ancient world, it's called tribute. You can physically enslave somebody, hardcore chattel slavery, and or you can make them tribute. And they have to bring a certain rate every day or every week or every month or every year. 10,000 sheep, 20,000 oxen, 70,000 drachms of gold and talents of gold. So they're going to have to do these things, man. And if they don't bring their gifts, we're going to find out about it. They try to keep back part of the price. Acts 5 is going to happen all over again, right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60. Right? Isaiah chapter 60, verse 5. Right? Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. So the abundance of the sea is speak parabolically, the sea are the nations. So it's all of the wealth of the nations are going to have to come to Jerusalem, right? And the earth is full of precious metals and exotic animals and, you know, herbs and spices and incense. And we're going to have it all, right? We're going to make them go get it. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance upon mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. So they're going to have to bring these beasts for offerings and tribute unto Jerusalem. And if you're over those cities, you're going to make sure it's getting done. You're going to make sure it's getting done the right way. And if it's not, there are judgments for those. So that's what it means in Revelation. You're going to have power over the nations. All right. Now, the Lord said you're going to rule them with a rod of iron, which is the strictness and severity of the law and the judgments. The Lord also said, if you overcome, you'll be given the morning star. Now, is that an actual star? Is this modern day science and astronomy? You have a star could fall down and hit the earth, and no, the morning star is a metaphor. It's not a literal morning star, right? Let's go to Revelation 22. If you overcome, you will be given the morning star, right? This is Revelation. Let's get a few precepts on that. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 16. I, Yahushua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. So him being a morning star, Salakia, right, bear with me. Yahushua being that morning star is him being the light. That's what it's saying. The morning star is the brightest star, and usually the first star you see at nighttime. And he is the one that is attracting the Israelites out of darkness. We see the brightness. We see that this is the truth. We see that this is our life. So we come out of darkness. We come out of religion, politics, whatever the world you was in, and you come into the morning star. You come into the brightness of Yahushua. That's what you see when you're in darkness. And you follow that morning star the same way our forefathers followed the North Star. And then what did the North Star lead them to? To freedom, liberty. The morning star we chase and we follow. And it's going to lead us to everlasting life. right, in this captivity. Now, Yahushua is the bright and morning star. You're going to be given a morning star, which means what? You are also going to be a light to the nations, and they're going to come out of darkness, and they're going to come out of their philosophies and their ideologies, and they're going to submit by force into the brightness of the law and the glory of God, right? So it's not an actual star and trying to figure out what to do with the star. Okay, do I put it in my pocket? No, right? This is symbol reminiscent to what Job said in Job, the 29th chapter, about the candle shining upon his head, right? This is Job chapter 29 and verse 1. Moreover, Job continued this parable and said, "Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness." So the nations, by your light, they're going to walk through darkness. The same way in our darkness, we're approaching the light of Yahushua. You will be given that bright and morning star if you overcome. But if you fall out, if you don't get the victory, if you go back in the world, you won't be given that morning star. Revelation 2 and 29. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Right? Revelation chapter 3. Let me see where I'm at with time. Right? I may have to do a part 2. All right, this Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. He that overcometh shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. You see that? So if you overcome, you'll be given that white raiment, which we already went into, which represents your innocency, your justification, your righteousness. Also, if you overcome, your name will not be blotted out of the book of life, right? The book of life is an account, a record, if you can understand, of the souls of the elect, right? And your name may very well be in the book of life right now. But who's to say if you go off, if you fall out, if you don't endure? If these things may befall you today or in the world, or it's like as we approach the world to come, the Lord is going to blot your name out, right? Take that black Sharpie, proverbially speaking, and cut your name off, right? And then you're going to be destroyed, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? So the book of life is an actual record, right? That the Lord has of his saints that are promised salvation, right? Exodus chapter 32 and 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. And the Lord said unto Moses, whosoever hath sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. So that's how you know if you're in the book or not. You're going to find out in the day of the Lord. Are you in the book of life or are you not in the book of life? And your name might be there already. But it's up to you for you to keep your name in there. Right? It's up for you, man. Stay on the payroll. Or you might get fired and cut you off, man. And you're cast out into outer darkness. And Moses, the thing about it is, he knew that his name was in the book of life. He said, if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. Because remember, he was up there on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights, and he was shown marvelous things. It would have been shown the book of life. You know, he would have been seen that. Otherwise, how would he know that his name was in that book? Where would he get that revelation from? Well, he was up there with the Most High, right, for a period of time. Now, let's go to Philippians chapter 4. Right, this Philippians chapter 4 and verse 3. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with my other fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. So just like Moses, the apostle Paul had revelations. You read that in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, right? He was taken up. by revelation, right? Yahushua taught him one-on-one. Paul knew whose names were in the book of life. We don't know that now. See, if the Lord showed you if your name was in the book of life, a brother might get proud, huh? Right? Lord, let me take a picture. Text it to me so I can show everybody. A brother might, a brother might start feeling himself, man. Yeah, I'm in the book of life, right? I already know what it is, man. Brother might stop going to camp, might stop doing the work. The brother might be motivated to keep his name in the book of life, but the Most High, that's part of the reward to overcome, to know if your name is in the book of life, right? Let's go to Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time, meaning the time of Jacob's trouble, or the peak of Jacob's trouble, Armageddon, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. I said thy people, meaning the Israelites. Every one that should be found written in the book. So only the Israelites, their names are in the book of life. That's a cut for you Christians, right? You other nations, you're not Daniel's people. So your name cannot be in the book of life, right? But Daniel's name is in the book of life. The apostles' names are in the book of life. If you overcome, your name will not be blotted out. If you don't overcome, your name very well will be blotted out, right? Your name very well will be blotted out. Let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 21, right? It's like I want 3 and 12. It's like it. Here's the next overcome. Him that overcometh, what Revelation 3 and 12, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. So if you overcome, you will be made a pillar in the temple of the Most High. Right? What is a pillar? A pillar is something that upholds a building, that provides stability. So in the kingdom, you're going to be a key player, for lack of better terms, one of the apostles, the prophets, to keep the kingdom of heaven going, right? Now, in the ancient world, the Lord called men pillars, right? Let's go to Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 18. For behold, I have made thee this day a defense city and an iron pillar and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land, right? And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to deliver thee. So men are likened unto iron pillars, right? Walls, doors, and a plethora of other things used in building. Let's go to Galatians, right? Chapter 1. This is Galatians, right? Chapter 1. Actually, I want chapter 2, Salakia. Let's see what the Apostle Paul said. Right? This is Galatians. I have to find this, Salaki. Bear with me. 2 and 9. Salaki. Galatians 2 and 9. And when James, Cephas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given unto me, they gave to me and Barnabas the right hands of fellowship, that we should go into the heathen, and what? And they unto the circumcision. So James, Peter, and John, they were the pillars of the church. If you overcome, you will become a pillar. You will become on that same leadership, that level of authority as Jeremiah and the apostles. You're going to be made a pillar in the temple of God. Some people are pillars in America's temple. They uphold niggatry and folly, like these rappers, these athletes. They're pillars of America. LeBron James, Oprah, Jay-Z, they're pillars in this man's building. We want to be pillars in the temple of God. And he should go no more out, meaning you'll never go out this truth. You can never leave. Once you open this door, you can never go the other way. You know, part of the curses is cursed shall be he that cometh in, and cursed shall he be that goeth out. So you'll never leave, you'll never go out. Nobody can take this truth from you, right? Nobody can pull you away from the Most High. Once you become a pillar, you become immortal, invincible. Slakia. And I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down from heaven, or out of heaven, from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. So when the Lord writes upon you these things, he's essentially stamping you with his image. He's stamping you with his character and his name, right? And that's how buildings work, right? You know, we put it up before. When you look at a building, it'll say erected, 1831. It'll have the company's name on there, or usually there are churches, libraries, museums, and it says erected, and it says AD 1848 by John Smith. And it might be a museum. But when John Smith's name is inscribed and written on that building, everything in that building is about John. Whatever his ideas, his mentality, his image, his characters, how it's laid out, how the people treat each other in the building, what's being sold or viewed in the building, it's all according to John's mind. So John essentially stamped that building with his character and his vision. And we are going to be stamped in like manner with the mind and the understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? So let's pull that up. Let's see if we can get a building with, let's see, year engraved, right? Let's see if we can find something like that. Yeah, usually they're older buildings. See, this one says built 2019. But usually there are older buildings. If you look at libraries, hospitals, banks, right, even certain streets, you'll see that they'll have names engraved in brick pathways, right? 1890, and most buildings and temples and pillars, they have names ascribed in them. It is 1998. Let's say erected. Let's see if I could type that. Well, I don't want to type that in, right? 1922. Right? Now you can find more images if you want. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, you gotta kind of look it up. See that? Miller Precision Building, Colin Smith, 2022. Circa 1907, etc. Right? You get the point. So you have people that are going to be stacked, proverbially speaking, with the image and the glory of righteousness. That's why it says in Revelation 14. This is a precept in Revelation 14. Right? This is Revelation chapter 14 and 1. Here's a precept. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with them 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. So the same way the Most High is going to write upon you his name, New Jerusalem, right, which is the glory of the people, the elect, is going to be engraved in you. The law is going to be engraved in you. Righteousness is going to be engraved in you in the image of Yahushua. Just like the whore. The whore has on her forehead written mystery. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. That's on her forehead. That's engraved in her. People are going to have that mark of the beast. Their forehead, their right hand, it's engraved in them. Parabolically speaking, not literal. All right? You're not going to have a literal pillar literally written, right, with the name of the Most High. I go to the word, right? You might say graphos, right? I believe it says graphos. It's not literal, it's spiritual, right? So that's what you're going to receive if you overcome, right? In Revelation chapter 3. Let's read on. Revelation chapter 3 and 21. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. And does that mean you're literally going to move your house out the way? All right, I'm sitting in the throne. Then the next man, okay, your time's up. Hurry up, hurry up. Then you get up. Then the other guy's sitting in his throne. No, huh? It's parabolic. All it's saying is you're going to receive the same reward that Yahushua receives. Remember, we're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua, right? As sons of God. So all that he gets, we're going to get. All right. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse, we'll start at 17. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. And that's what this means. You're going to be sitting in that throne, right? You're going to have authority like Yahushua has authority. You're going to have glory like Yahushua has glory. You're going to have honor like Yahushua has honor. It's the same way that he overcame and I'm set down in his Father's throne. Because now Yahushua can execute judgment. Right? The Father committed judgment to Yahushua because he overcame. Yahushua is going to commit judgment unto you because you overcame. So you're going to receive the authority of the Father and of Yahushua as well. Right? That's what it means. If you overcome, you're going to be granted to sit with Yahushua in his throne. Right? That's what that means on a parabolic level. Now, Revelation chapter 3. It's like your Revelation 21, right? Revelation chapter 21, here's the last overcome in verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. So the eighth and final overcome is if you overcome this world, you overcome this war against your soul, you overcome the flesh, you overcome the temptations, you overcome Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, being in a FEMA camp, guillotine, pilgrim on the earth, forcibly taken out of your house, right? Temptations and anger and wrath and malice. If you overcome, you're going to inherit all things. And you will be a son of the Most High. And you will finally obtain and live up to that name, Yasha'Allah, right? As a prince has thou power with God and with men and has prevailed. And you'll finally prevail and live up to being Israel once you overcome. Israel is not just a name. There were works that were manifested to get that name. And that was by overcoming all things and overcoming the wrestling all night that Jacob had with the angel. And that's what we're doing right now. It's about to be the breaking of the day. And you have to prevail and overcome, and you will finally be a Yasha'Allah, right? But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Wamalak Yabushai. The same way our forefathers and foremothers overcame in the time of Purim, it is Purim. They overcame the wicked counsel of Haman. They overcame the devices of the heathen. They overcame the heathen that sought to destroy them. We have promises in store for us, and we overcome, right? But with that, we're going to close up. Keep Purim holy. Remember the ordinances given to us by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Read Esther. Ordinances are found in Esther chapter 9, 17 through 22. And again, keep this day holy. With that, Yahweh Bashim Mashiach Wamalak Yahushai. Kwam Yasha. Shalom.